So yes, we are going to start with morphology of flowering plants from our 100 concepts for NEET 2026, wherein in this chapter today we are going to look into the basic introduction of this chapter and root and its modifications. So in morphology of flowering plants, we learn in detail about the vegetative characters and the floral characters, wherein in vegetative characters we will be looking into root, stem, leaf and its modifications. In the floral characters we will be looking into the sepals, petals, which are non-essential whorls, their aestivation, and the essential whorls androecium, gynoecium and their arrangement, and ovules arrangement, that is placentation, and lastly we will be looking into the seed and fruit types as well. So this is the complete gist of morphology of flowering plants. First, if we have to look into the description of root, root is nothing but the cylindrical structure which is underground, non-green part of the plant. So this is the descending portion of the plant axis. Okay, root is the descending portion of the plant axis, which is positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. This is positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. This lacks nodes, leaves and buds. Endogenously this gives rise to what? Lateral roots. Okay, endogenously root will from the main root system, endogenously lateral roots will arise. They exactly originate from the pericycle. Okay, so the root system here we can describe it as simply main root plus tap roots will give you the root system. And then if you have to see, based on the origin and structure of the roots, okay, based on the origin and structure of the roots, here we have at the time of seed germination, from the seed positively geotrophic radicle will arise and positively phototrophic plumule. Plumule develops to shoot, radicle to root. Okay. So based on the origin and structure, we have dicots, monocots and grass, banyan tree, sweet potatoes. That is, in dicots we have what type of root system? Primary root system. In monocots mostly fibrous root system is seen. If the roots arise from any of the part of the plant body, then it is called as adventitious roots. So how many types of root systems we have? Taproot system, fibrous root system and adventitious root system. Fine. Taproot system, where from the main root lateral roots will be originating from pericycle or endogenously in origin. So this is observed in dicots. Fibrous root system, which arise from the base of the stem, bunch of the roots will arise from the base of the stem, where the radicle is short lived over here. This type of root system is observed in most of the monocots. Adventitious root system is nothing but the roots arise from any of the plant part, that is adventitious root system. Best examples include grass, banyan tree and sweet potato. And next, if you see main functions of the root, what are the main functions of the root? Absorption of water and minerals, storage of the reserve food material, root provides proper anchorage to the plant parts and synthesis of plant growth regulators. These are the major functions of the root system. So now let us look into the regions of the root. We have 4 regions of the root. We have 4 regions of the root. First is root cap, the small thimble like structure. Root cap is small thimble cap like structure. Small thimble cap like structure, where it is filled with what type of tissue? Parenchymatous tissue. Parenchymatous tissue. Okay. So root cap is small cap like structure which is made up of parenchymatous tissue. The cells which are in close proximity to this root cap are the meristematic cells. Meristematic cells are small, protoplasmic, they have thin cell wall, that is made up of cellulose. So, this is the region of the meristematic activity. Proximal to the region of meristematic activity, we have region of elongation, where cells will increase in its length, they will elongate and the root length will be increased. Proximal to the region of elongation, we have region of maturation. From the region of maturation, root hairs will arise. Root hairs will arise from the region of maturation. These are the 4 regions of the root, and then we will exercise different types of modifications of the roots now. First type is storage root. Storage root, we have 3 types, like modifications from taproot, modifications from fibrous and modifications from adventitious root system. So, here taproot system, if you have to see, we have carrot, radish and turnip. These are the best examples. Fibrous root system, asparagus. Asparagus is the best example. Asparagus is the best example for fibrous root system. And then if you see adventitious root system, sweet potato, that is Apomia botatus. This is the best example for adventitious storage root. So, the taproot storage root examples include carrot, radish, turnip. Fibrous root storage root modification includes asparagus. Adventitious root storage root modification includes sweet potato. And then respiratory roots. Best examples of the respiratory roots include Rhizophora and Avicennia. What are these respiratory roots? Respiratory roots are also called as breathing roots. Breathing roots or pneumatophores. Breathing roots or pneumatophores, wherein the roots will arise above the ground like this. Roots will arise above the ground. They move positively phototrophic. They show positively phototrophic movement. Okay. So, this is observed in most of the halophilic regions. Okay. Halophilic regions, those plants which are starved with oxygen. Okay. They are starved with oxygen. Those which require oxygen, their roots will grow above the ground, positively phototrophic, which are also called as breathing roots or pneumatophores. So, these roots, okay, they will exchange the gases over here. Best examples for the respiratory root includes what? Avicennia, Avicennia and Rhizophora. Next is nodular roots. Nodular roots are seen, best examples of nodular roots are leguminous roots, roots of leguminous plants or leguminous roots. Leguminous roots which are primarily involved in nitrogen fixation. They are primarily involved in nitrogen fixation. Nodular roots are also called as leguminous roots, wherein with the association of nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is Rhizobium leguminosarum, they form nodules like this, and that is why they are called as what? Nodular roots. And next, velamen roots. Velamen roots or photosynthetic roots. Velamen roots, they are observed in epiphytes. Best example is Vanda. Okay, they are observed in epiphytes. Best example is Vanda. Okay, wherein the roots will grow towards the stem. These roots are what? Hygroscopic. Hygroscopic. They absorb water and moisture from the atmosphere. And then photosynthetic roots. Photosynthetic roots, best example includes Taeniophyllum. Okay, photosynthetic roots, best example includes Taeniophyllum. They are green structures. These roots conduct photosynthesis, that is why they are called as photosynthetic roots. So, this velamen roots, photosynthetic roots, this type of roots are most important for this modifications should be most learned by EAP set aspirants as well. In NEET, most probably about velamen roots, about photosynthetic roots it will not be asked, but EAP students though it is pakka, it is mandatory to learn. And here if you see prop roots and stilt roots. Prop roots which are also called as pillar roots, because these roots grow positively geotrophic from the branches of this main axis. Okay. From branches the roots grow down. So, this is also an adaptation of what? Adventitious root system adaptation only. So, prop roots are also called as pillar roots. This is an adventitious root system modification. Okay. Prop roots or pillar roots which are adventitious root system modification. It grows positively geotrophic. Positively geotrophic. Fine. And next is stilt roots. Stilt roots will arise from the nodal region, first nodal region. This grows positively geotrophic again. The main purpose of the stilt root is again mechanical support. Prop roots and stilt roots aid in what? Mechanical support to the plant. Examples of prop root system is observed in banyan tree, stilt roots is observed in sugarcane. Lastly, hostorial roots. The roots will dwell into xylem and phloem tissues of the preceding plant to grab the nutrients. So, in this we have partial parasites and complete parasites. So, we have partial parasites, partial parasitic plants and complete parasites. So, the partial parasites include viscum and striga, which dwell into only the xylem tissues of the preceding plant. They dwell only into the xylem tissue of the preceding plant. Complete parasitic plants include cuscuta, and Rafflesia, where the roots dwell both into the xylem and phloem tissues. Okay, this is about the hostorial roots or parasitic roots. Now, if we have to recall the examples of all the root modifications, the examples of all the root modifications is highly important for us. First, taproot modifications are what beta? Carrot, turnip and radish. These are the examples of taproot system. Next, fibrous root system, best example is what? Asparagus. Okay. This fibrous root, storage root, best example is asparagus. Next, adventitious root system for storage is sweet potato is the best example. Fine. Now, those type of roots which help in mechanical support. Prop roots or pillar roots, best example seen is in the banyan tree. Stilt roots, sugarcane. Fine. Hostorial roots, which are also called as parasitic roots, are observed in viscum striga, partial parasites, and complete parasites, Rafflesia, okay, Rafflesia and cuscuta. And then epiphytes. In epiphytes, velamen roots are observed. Best example is Vanda. Next, photosynthetic roots which are chlorophyllous. Best example is Tinophyllum. Next, nodular roots for nitrogen fixation. Nodular roots or leguminous roots for nitrogen fixation. Those are roots of legumes. And then respiratory roots or breathing roots or nematophores. Best example is Rhizophora and Avicennia. Fine. These are the complete examples of root modifications, highly important. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this also. So, in our next class, we will be dealing with the 2 more vegetative characters. Those are what? Stem and leaf and its modifications. That is all for today's session. Thank you.